Warning! Hey, dumbass! This show is called The Offenders. So if you hear something that offends you, then we are doing our fucking job. So quit crying. Love the offenders.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Offenders Podcast. I'm Kyle. Joining me this week from Macon, Georgia is Evan.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. And sitting immediately to my left, the mysterious, the rare, Shane Tipton.
Yo.
Hey, alright, so this week, actually, I just think about it, Shane is our first three-peat. Actually, I think he's our first multiple-time guest in general, isn't he?
Yes.
The living tribunal.
Yes.
Exactly.
The genes will never work in unison again. Nerd cred.
Yeah, I know, right? Take a shot. Yeah, I think we're planning on getting Mondo for our pre-Dragon Con extravaganza to come back. So, but good to have you back again, Shane, for this week's episode.
Yep.
So, this week, we received an email. This actually received it several weeks ago, and it was from a friend of ours named Steven about an article discussing how United States is no longer the fattest country, how Mexico has surpassed us. So once again, something the United States was number one at, we're no longer number one.
Shit.
I know. Evan, you haven't been eating enough pizza and working out too goddamn much. That's the fucking problem.
I've been trying to eat more because I've been running faster, so I got to eat more.
Well, the
Pizza
problem is
and burgers.
You're running too fast. Slow it down.
But Mexico's already won, man. I'm giving up. It's fucking stupid.
But yeah, so I think the story's kind of old now, but it gave us an idea. And we wanted to talk about food in general, just crazy foods out there. Now, I'm a bit of a, I'm trying to think of the best word for it. Like, I'm interested in crazy foods. Like, whenever I read about one of them, it just blows my mind. And some of them are things that I would try, but a lot of them are things that's just like, why the fuck would people even eat this? So first I want to thank Steven for sending in the article.
Thank you, Steven. You're a cool dude, man.
Yeah, Steven writes stuff, too, for Blank Man Inc. I'll leave a link to his articles and stuff in the comments. His writing's pretty good. He's not right all the time because he did say that Final Fantasy VIII was better than Final Fantasy VII, which is completely wrong. But other than that, you know, he's not too... It's pretty good stuff, so I'll leave a link for you to check it out. But thanks, Steven, for giving us this idea for this week's episode. So
yeah, dude. Also, you're both wrong because Final Fantasy VI is the best one. High five, Shane.
Well, he didn't say it was the best. He just said it was better than 7.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'll give him that.
We'll give him that. Okay.
No, you don't give him that. He's wrong.
Yeah.
He's wrong.
Well, it's okay. He's less wrong than if you said it was better than 6, so I don't care.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, but so what we're going to do is we're going to handle this more like a game. It's going to be Shane versus Evan. Okay? So what's going to happen is I'm going to give the name of a food, and then I'm going to tell where it's from and maybe a little bit about the food, and then they'll have to tell me what they think the food is made out of. All right, does that sound good, guys?
Sure.
Hi.
Okay, so I'm going to start off kind of easy. Who wants to go first?
Doesn't matter.
I will go first. Hajime!
All right. So, Evan Jones, you're the first up, and what the fuck is in this? All right, so we're going to start off at home. Since Mexico has beaten us now, and it's the fattest country, we're going to talk about some fat food over here, all right?
Okay.
So, the name of this food is called the Luther Burger. It's actually created in Decatur, Georgia, so it's from our home state here. And it's supposedly named after the singer Luther Vandross. And it was featured in an episode of the Boondocks called The Itis. Evan, what do you think is in a Luther Burger?
Let me demonstrate for our audience how fucking incompetent I am. I just looked at this not even a month ago and I've already forgotten. So let me try and salvage some sort of dignity as a burger fan. It has, of course, a meat patty. It has cheese and peanut butter and an egg and ham.
Okay, Evan, well... Incorrect, sir. No,
Shit!
sir. You have let down burger fans everywhere.
Luther fans.
And Luther Vandross fans, in fact. A Luther burger is actually made out of Luther Vandross.
Oh, wow, that makes perfect sense.
Actually, no. What a Luther burger is, it's a hamburger, so you're right on the meat patty part. It
Yes.
does have cheese.
Yes!
It involves donuts, I believe.
It does have a donut as the bun. It's a Krispy Kreme donut that's been griddled and uses the bun, and it's covered with bacon and cheese as well. There's no egg on this one.
Oh.
And supposedly it's named after him because he used to eat these all the time at this restaurant in Decatur, Georgia.
What a fucking American he is.
Yeah, that's probably also why he died of a heart attack.
Let me just put it this way. So far, Shane is the winner, and I am the Luther. Hey!
You know what happened then?
What?
We started falling behind when that guy died. He was keeping us way ahead of Mexico.
Dude, totally, because a fucking donut burger sounds amazing.
It's almost like there's the other place, the Vortex up in Atlanta, that has the cardiac arrest, that has
Triple bypass. That one's the one that has the egg. I think it's
The
what you're thinking
egg, chili, one of Mondo's favorites.
Yeah, it's like egg, chili, whatever meat you want, cheese, bacon, and then the buns are grilled cheese sandwiches.
of.
And fucking lard and heart attack and death.
Yeah. It's one of those ones like you should eat it with your hands, but you can't because as soon as you pick it up, it's just fucking food explosion all over the place.
The Grim Reaper actually brings it out to you on the plate and sits down and waits.
Yeah.
Your food. He points at you while he's sitting there.
Ah, Alucard, you will be dining this evening? All right, everybody, get ready, because when you bite into that burger, it's going to sound like this. Turn up your headphones. The fucking syrup goes everywhere.
Exactly. It sounds like that when the person next to you bites into it, too. I mean, you don't have to bite into it just to hear it. You can just hear it around the room. All right, so, Evan, you're a failure.
0 for 1.
All right.
I'm a
so
Luther.
Shane,
All right.
sweetbread. Okay. So a little bit about sweetbread is it's supposedly came from the 16th century. It's unclear exactly where, but I will tell you this. It is not sweet and it is not bread. It involves a type of meat.
I want to say that I've read something about it, and it's probably some kind of organ. So I'm going to say it's the kidney or something, but since I don't know what it'd be the kidney of, I'm sure I'll be wrong.
That's close. Do you want to maybe say how you think this kidney's cooked? Or how this organ is cooked in general?
Is it cooked in its own juices of blood?
No, it is not, Shane. I'm
Aw.
sorry. I have to give you this. Yeah. So now for the rest of the episode, you have to make the sound of your heart. So
Oh no.
half. No. All right. So what sweetbread is it is an organ. It can depend though. So that's why I kind of gave it to you. Some people sometimes they use the throat or the gullet of an animal, or sometimes it's the heart or stomach or something like that. It can depend. Usually it's from like a calf or a lamb, but they have been known to use pork. But what they do is they just take it, they soak it in salt water, they poach it in milk, after which the outer membrane of it is actually removed, and then once it's dried and chilled, they often serve it and bread it and then fry it.
Well, I see.
Yeah. It's used often in Latin American cuisine, so if you go down there, get ready to eat this shit.
That has to be the worst fucking name, most inappropriate bullshit I've ever heard in my life. It's like, you know what? I could really go for a cow butt, and then you bite into it, and it's made of chocolate and strawberries. That has nothing to do with sweet or bread. What the fuck, man?
Hey, man, that's how they trick you into eating it.
There's a term. That's why I kind of guessed it, like the sweetmeats or the organs.
Ah.
And that's
Yeah.
how I kind of partially guessed it, but I didn't know what it was officially. So
It actually says that it's not to be confused with sweetmeats. So
see?
people often do confuse the two, evidently. All right, so right now you're both losers.
Yeah! High five!
All right, so let's see, Evan, if you can pull it out, get your first point here. It's going to be, this one is called Casu Marzu. Okay? It is actually Sardinian, so you kind of from Sardinia to Italy. It goes through a fermentation process, and due to the health risks behind it, it has been made illegal in the European Union.
Okay, Okay. I got this one totally.
Okay.
This is nothing more than the mucous membrane of an albino unicorn, which has been sautéed in cod liver oil and poached by a man in the mountains who has to specifically have had sex with 16 women after he has made 3 cook fires. And once that has been done, it is frozen, and then it is topped off with a strawberry that is not actually a strawberry, but is soybean fermented, and then used red food coloring, and then the outside are actually sesame seeds from a hamburger bun. I'll take my applause off the air.
Okay. That's close, but... Nope. Incorrect, sir.
I don't even know what country that's from. It sounds Spanish.
I'm gonna say sardines because it's from Sardinia. It's got to be sardines.
It is not, actually. What it is it is a type of cheese. Okay? Now, the cheese, the outside, like there's a rind to it, so it's hard. The rind is removed what they do is they let eggs of these cheese flies be laid in the cheese.
Oh, I've heard of that, but I didn't know the name of it. Yeah,
And
that's
so then when
disgusting.
the larva hatch, the larva will then eat the cheese, and it will be processed through them. And then, after it's processed through them, like the acids and digestive system break the cheese down and make it where it's a lot better. And so what you then do is you put the cheese inside of a bag, and you seal it. And you seal it long enough to suffocate the maggots.
Oh.
And then you eat it. Now, some people don't do this. Some people eat them while the maggots are still alive. And the maggots have been known to launch themselves up to 15 centimeters in the air at you. So you have to have protection while you're eating it if they're alive. And now the reason it's considered dangerous is because you can get all sorts of bacteria and diseases from these maggots if you're eating them.
Ooh.
So cheese, anyone?
So they need to do that for that commercial. The one with the spaghetti slapping the woman in the face. It's like a food fighting back at you. In this case, it's leaping at your face.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Someone there's a guy who goes around and eats weird foods. His name's Andrew Zimmer, and he ate this, and he said that it tasted ammoniated from like ammonia, and that it scorches your tongue as you eat it. And it's been said that the aftertaste lasts for several hours. Like, you eat this shit and you still taste it, like, hours later. After it's, like, burned your tongue from, like, the fucking piss of these maggots or whatever it is.
It seems like a horrible idea.
It sounds like death metal lyrics.
It does.
For the piss of the maggots.
It sounds like someone was the greatest fucking, like, high wits waiter ever. And he brought this cheese out that was all fucked up, and he's just like, oh no, this is a delicacy, I assure you. And he bought it, and then like from then on he told everybody else about it, and that lie has just been throughout the ages propagated. That's what I'm gonna call it.
Indeed.
I don't think it's actually that old, if I remember correctly. I think it's like a fairly recent concoction. Like, it wasn't something that's been around for centuries. This is like something that's been around for maybe like 30 years.
Well, then that guy who made up that lie is still around. We can thank him for that.
Let's go find him and give him a fucking Hulk Hogan leg drop. Just so he has to see how long it takes for that leg to smash him in the face. 10 minutes of air time.
Well, what it sounds like is this is one of those things that somebody somewhere's like, I'm going to make something that's so fucking disgusting and so goddamn expensive that idiots with a lot of fucking money are going to go above and beyond to get a hold of this, just to seem like they're the special people.
So this is lower class justice, is what you're saying.
I'll take that, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All
We
right,
won't
so
leg drop him.
yeah. All right, so still 0-0. Shane, this is your chance to jump ahead.
Okay.
Century egg. Okay, so the century egg is also known as the 100-year egg, 1,000-year egg, 1,000-year-old egg, millennium egg, all sorts of different things. It comes from China, and it's another one of these ridiculous fermenting processes. What is the century egg?
This is another one of those things that I know about, but don't know the details. I want to say, unfortunately, I don't know what they do to the egg, but I do believe they bury it in the ground as part of the fermenting process. But I don't remember what they if they do anything to it before, unfortunately. So looks like I'm gonna get another failure.
I'll tell you what, since you're closest on anything that we've had so far, Shane, I'll go ahead. We'll give that to you.
Yay!
All right. So you're right. It is an egg that's buried in the ground, but before they bury it, it's like placed in a mixture of clay, ash, salt, quicklime, and rice hulls for several weeks to several months, depending on the method of the process. Okay, and then through the process, the yolk becomes this dark green to gray color. If you've never seen a picture of this thing, you need to look at it and just think, who the fuck would eat this? Because it literally looks like just this green. It's like, I imagine this is what like you would pull out of an alien's asshole. But the yolk becomes a dark green to gray color with a creamy consistency and an odor of sulfur and ammonia, while the white becomes a dark brown translucent jelly with salty or little flavor. Why would you eat this?
So it's absolutely disgusting and it has almost no flavor to it.
Literally.
That's just genius.
Chinese people, what the fuck, man? I mean, they eat the
It's
craziest
because
shit.
they was like, we can't become the fattest country, so all our food is going to be so weird that nobody will eat it.
Yeah, I guess that might be it. Or maybe, and then further, not only will other people not eat it, but it's so disgusting, we have to force ourselves just to eat enough to survive.
Ugh.
Oh my goodness.
I wish the people out there could see my fucking face when you're explaining this shit, because I look like a woman watching a small baby get abused on a Lifetime movie.
Oh wow.
I just look like I'm about to cry the most sorrowful tears of agonizing, traumatic years spent alone in solitude. Because I'm like, somebody had to eat this shit to survive. And I feel so terribly sorry for them.
No. This is incorrect.
Give me some hope.
Because if you had an egg to do this process to, you could have just ate the fucking egg. It's your own fault.
Fair enough.
Well, they said this actually came about back a long time ago when they have to preserve eggs. So they have so many eggs, they couldn't go through all of them. So they try to come up with ways to preserve them. And this just kind of came from it.
I see. It's one of those bad ideas that they had.
Yeah,
They
One of
balance it out
those.
with other things. Paper, yeah, good idea. Gunpowder, well, maybe not good idea. But still, an advancement, writing, stuff like that, great ideas. Preserving an egg by burying it in the ground, not such a good idea.
Agreed. All right, so Shane, you've got 1 point. Evan, you got 0. You ready for your next one, Evan? It's
Let's
your
do
chance
it.
to tie it up, okay? Okay, so we're going to stay in China. We're going to stay with eggs.
One night in China?
Ni hao ma.
Oh, God. This is called the virgin boy egg. Evan, what is a virgin boy egg?
Any guess that was going to sound logical will just make me sound like a creepy old man. So I'm going to have to say that this is the idea of King Zhuang the 15th of the Tang Dynasty. And what he did was, after completing a bowel movement, which took 3 days, he found a newfound sense of euphoria, enlightenment, if you will, that said to him, this is the food of the gods. So he walked right out of that bathroom, and there was a small child who had a little breaded substance in his hand, and he yanked that shit out of his hand, and it just happened to be somewhat of an egg look to it. So he said, "Boy, what is the name of this?" And he said, "You have stolen my eggs, and I haven't even had sex yet because I'm only 12 years old." And he said, "From this day forward, this thing is going to be called Virgin Boy Eggs." And he took a bite of it and he said, "What the fuck is this shit?" And then the kid says, "I didn't have time to tell you that it was a dog turd."
So you're saying that a virgin boy egg is a lightly breaded dog turd?
No, it's a dog turd that appears to be lightly breaded.
Oh, so it's an old dog turd.
Yes.
Okay. Well, no.
Was I close?
No.
Shit.
Not at all. I mean, the Chinese will eat some crazy shit, but I don't think they're actually eating shit. All right, but it does involve bodily movement fluids.
Oh.
So, a virgin boy egg is an egg. So, after the Chinese have buried half their eggs to turn them into the century egg, they're like, what are we going to do with the other half of these eggs? And one smart guy said, I know what we're going to do. We're going to get a bunch of 10-year-old boys to piss in a bucket, and then we're going to soak the eggs in it and cook them and eat them.
This was for medicine, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's believed the eggs decrease body heat, promote better blood circulation, and just generally reinvigorate the body.
See, I can see that because the cure for an earache is apparently to have a 5-year-old boy pee in a cup and pour it into your ear. On top of this, apparently this works because not only was it in China, but my grandma told me about the same thing. It's like, if you have an earache, just pee in a cup and pour it in your ear. So apparently this is knowledge like across like the continents.
I've heard something similar.
I believe it's the acid in the urine that
the ammonia and acid in it. I heard something similar about your face, like in the morning, like you should take. This is
splash some piss on your face.
Yeah, you splash piss on your face, and it helps prevent acne.
What the fuck is wrong with you guys?
I didn't say I did it. I just said I heard it.
It's not like I did anything.
Now, Shane, I can understand. You had no problem in this. Your grandmother told you that. You're innocent. Kyle, did you actually type virgin boy eggs into Google?
No, actually.
You're on a list now, dude. Britain is... You're now on the list in Britain for virgin boy eggs.
No. A lot of these foods I've just heard about over the years, but some of them came about. I was visiting with a friend, and we both kind of have a love for just fucked up food. And so some of these he told me about, like the katsumarzu. He told me about virgin boy eggs I'd heard about from somewhere. Like I'd heard, because basically what they'll do, it's like, it's not even all of China, actually. It's like this one area. But then again, one area in China could be the size of our whole fucking country. But
that's true.
Yeah.
It's this area in China. What they do is they just collect urine from either school toilets, or they'll even just be buckets for boys to pee in.
Oh, boy.
And it's pre-pubescent.
Oh, boy. Shit.
Completely accidental, but I'll take credit for it. I sure will.
Oh my god! But yeah, so they basically collect piss from all these little boys. And they soak the eggs in them and boil them in the urine. Then they crack the shells just a little bit so some of it can get in there, and they keep cooking them.
Oh, god damn it! Why did you tell me about this? My life was going so well.
Have you eaten yet today, Evan?
I
Are you
did.
still hungry?
I had a fucking delicious Domino's pizza with hot sauce on top of it. And I'm doing my best to keep that shit at bay because I don't want to throw up on my good friend Shane Tipton.
All right, so Evan, you're 0. Shane 1.
I think you'd be at -1 if you got that right. No one should know what that is.
Yes. Yes.
Knowing what it is just means maybe you saw it on like a Food Network or Travel Channel
That's
thing.
true.
If you'd actually eaten it, then you had to say you're at -1. You're like minus life.
Right?
Just kill yourself. If you've eaten half of this stuff, I mean, like the Luther, okay, the sweetbread, but the other stuff, I don't think so. Well, that brings us to another egg. This one's
So
for
many
you,
goddamn
Shane.
eggs.
Huevos.
It's called ballot egg. This
It's
is
pronounced
from-
ballet egg, okay?
Actually, it's BALUT.
Oh,
Oh.
shit.
So it's like ballot, like a, I guess like almost you'd say it like a. It comes from. It's commonly sold as a street food in the Philippines, and it's also common in Southeast Asia in countries such as Laos, Cambodia, and Vietnam.
Oh,
They're
wait,
often
I think I know
served
what
with-
this is.
I
They're
know what
often
this is.
served with beer.
If I'm correct, it's an egg that's partially matured, and when you cook it, it's actually like part liquid chicken, part like actual chicken, so the beak and everything's in there, and you eat it. And when you eat it, it crunches because you're crunching its bones and its beak and everything when you're eating it. Is that what that is?
It is.
Ah,
Yeah, dude!
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It is a partially developed duck embryo that's been boiled alive and is eaten inside the shell.
yeah.
It's and it's like it's basically developed enough that you can tell it's kind of a bird.
Yep.
So yep, that's exactly right.
I think we saw that on Mind, Body, and Kick-Ass Moves, didn't we? Like, there was, like, something like a Filipino, like, knife
I
fighting
think
or
so.
something.
I think so. We found that by accident.
Yeah. There's this TV show called Mind, Body, and Kick-Ass Moves about this British guy who goes and looks up all these crazy martial arts, and they went to the Philippines, and they were learning about Eskrima, I think it was, and, like, they were taking a break, and this guy was just like, here, try this, and it was like, oh, it's just part of a baby duck that's not fully mature, and I'm like, what the fuck? But yeah.
Yep.
So there you go. What is it with eggs?
I don't.
You're the guy coming up with them, dude.
I'm not coming up with them. I'm
That's
just finding
awesome.
these things. I didn't. This is one I got told about. I didn't know about this one.
You did. You got in the Wayback Machine and you went back there and you made all this shit up.
You did.
Damn right.
Listen to how defensive he got. I didn't do this. No. I mean, this.
Guilty.
You're an Eggman, okay? You destroy small animals so
Turn
that
the robots.
Sonic the Hedgehog will be miserable. You were Eggman. You were Dr. Robotnik.
All right, I do like eggs. I eat eggs a lot, but I cook my
knew it.
eggs. I eat scrambled eggs because I can scramble a mean fucking egg. I ain't gonna lie to you now.
Hell yeah, dude. Those are good.
And I'll talk in the question at the end. We'll discuss eating beautiful animals, but regardless. All right, so Shane, you're 2-0. Evan, this one's worth 3,000 points if you can get it right. Okay, I'm gonna give you the win. All right,
God damn it. All right.
Ortolan bunting. It is French, and it is illegal to be cooked and sold throughout the EU. However, it is still okay to prepare it. It just cannot be sold. Another thing, maybe this will jog your memory if you've ever heard of this. When one eats the ortolan bunting, you must put a napkin over your head because it is said for God to see that it would be a sin. So you have to hide your sin from God while you eat this food.
God damn it. I just fucking heard this.
I know, I sent it to you 2 weeks ago.
Shit. Goddamn fucking. Goddamn son of a bitch. Fuck. God damn it. Shit.
Got a guess?
I'm gonna know it as soon as you goddamn say it. Fuck.
See it? Yes, so will I.
Everybody will know it once I say it.
Shit, man. I just turned into the Winnebago man because I got so angry. Fuck. Fucking flies. I'm going to go ahead and declare victory for Shane because my opponent is a much better president of Odd Foods than I will ever be, and I support his term as Weird Foods president.
All right, well, here you go, Evan. This is for you. So, ortolan bunting. This is by far one of my favorite, just craziest fucking foods. So, the ortolan bunting is a bird. It's caught and placed inside of either a dark box or has its eyes gouged out.
Ooh.
By thinking it's dark, it then will eat continuously. So they feed it millet and fatten it up. And once it's fat enough, they drown it in brandy. Then once it's drowned in brandy, they basically defeather it, but then they cook the whole bird. And then when they serve it to you, they bring it out on a plate with a napkin, which I said before you put over your head. And it's supposedly you put it over your head so you can get all the aromas to come up into your face because it smells delicious. But somebody once said that you do that because you have to hide your sin from God because of the way this animal's prepared. So once you've done this, once you've done it, you then put the whole thing in your mouth and bite the head off with the whole body, wings, legs, and everything, and chew it and just savor it. So another thing they say that goes along with it, because bird bones are so small and brittle that sometimes they pierce your gums, and then the blood adds flavor to this already delicious food that you are eating. That is an ortolan bunting.
I see.
The French. So who's crazier, Chinese people or French people when it comes to their food?
At least the Chinese thought it was helpful. These people are just doing it.
Yeah, these people are just fucked up.
They're fucking dickholes.
Yeah. I mean, literally, it's like you can either put it in a dark box or just gouge its eyes out. Those are your options. It's like, well, I guess compared to what I'm going to do to this thing later on, I might as well just gouge its eyes out now. That way I ain't got to eat them.
This is unbelievable.
Isn't it, though?
Oh, man.
Makes
Fucking
me hungry.
napkin heads. That's our new name.
Sin from God.
The next time we see somebody doing something unbelievably wrong and just cruel, I'm going to be like, that fucking napkin head.
Oh, my God.
So that's the fucking public service announcement from the offenders. Don't be a fucking napkin head,
don't
okay?
be a napkin head.
Could you imagine sitting in a restaurant and somebody gets their food brought up to you? Like, imagine you go to a Mexican restaurant and they bring out their fajitas and somebody just puts a towel over their head while they eat their fajitas. I mean, how fucked up would that be?
Actually, I would assume that they're eating something incredibly hot and they're going to sweat like crazy.
On their food? I mean, if you're putting it over your head while the steam's coming up in your face, you're just sweating all over what you're about to eat.
Well, I'm just saying, if people eat and they sweat real bad, maybe they just put it on there to keep the sweat from dripping in their eyes as they're battling it out.
Well, regardless of what it might be, the three of us tonight are taking an oath. So let it be known that here, Eastern Standard Time, 8:57 p.m., August 10th, 2013, should the three of us be in a restaurant, any one of us by ourselves, of course, and we see somebody with a fucking napkin on their head eating food, we're going to stand up and we're going to say, Rolling Bunter! No matter if anybody in there fucking knows what we're talking about, it is our purpose on this earth to expose the fucking bunters. Or whatever the fuck you call those people. That's a fucking rolling bunter.
A rolling bunter?
That's fucking rolling...
Rolling Thunder.
It's Rolling Thunder. They're a fucking great shoot 'em game from the goddamn 80s. Where you shoot the guys with the purple hoods and they go, wow.
Were they
Now
wearing
I'm
those
imagining
purple
like
hoods
somebody
to
running
eat?
up to the... Huh?
Were they wearing
Wow.
those purple hoods to eat the food so God couldn't see their sin?
That's what it was. That's the whole point
My
behind the
mind
game.
is fucking blown right now. The whole time I thought they were just cool mask dudes, but they're fucking rolling bunters. What is it called?
Ortolan bunting is the name of the bird.
Ortolan bunting. Is bunting like a gerund? Is it like a transitive verb? Is it like something that's happening? Or is bunting just the name?
It's just its name. I mean, it's called an ortolan or an ortolan bunting. I think bunting is a family of birds.
Oh, okay. Oh, quick side note. Do you know what a group of unicorns is called?
No.
A blessing.
Really?
I had a drunk girl tell me that last night.
She could be wrong.
Yeah, I'm going to put it out there. Drunk people tend to be wrong a lot.
She looked like she fucking loved unicorns, dude.
Maybe she
Like the magic that was in her eyes when she explained this to me. I said, that's a fucking... She is a person with many blessings in her life.
You should have been like, and I counter with a murder of crows.
That's why Shane Tipton needs to be everywhere at all times, because he is the master of wit.
All right, gentlemen. So we're running out of some time here, but we do have a question for this week that kind of goes along with all the food stuff, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, living the lifestyle I live, I always keep in my mind, what would be my last meal if I was on death row? So my question to you two is, what would be your last meal if you were on death row? They come to you, they're like, we're gonna fry your ass tonight. What's the last thing you want to eat? What's the last thing you want to go through your mouth and come out your ass when you die and the muscles just lose control?
Okay, so let's break this down so that we're completely clear.
Mm-hmm.
Is this like an S&S cafeteria where I get a meat, 2 sides, and a dessert?
Whatever you want. It does anything you want in the world. It doesn't matter.
Okay. I'm ready to answer.
All right, then go ahead.
I'm going to have a large pizza from Godfather's Pizza because it's going to exist because I'm going to die. It's going to be a large cheese and pepperoni pizza from Godfather's Pizza. Now, prior to this, my appetizer is going to be a hamburger and french fries from Central Park Burgers. And for dessert, I am going to have a fucking Ecto Cooler sundae from Hardee's with the gigantic chocolate chip cookie. And then I can die a happy man.
I remember those Ecto Cooler Sundays. Those days were the fucking best.
And if they're feeling kind, they can give me an Ecto Cooler high C to fucking go with it.
That's
my
meal.
dream. Yeah, dude. Gonna go out, you go out in style. If you're gonna die, die with your boots on.
All right, Shane, what would be your last meal?
Okay, then. I wouldn't really know, but I have an excellent, little thought experiment thing, since I wouldn't really be on death row anyway. I'm in the EU, you see, and my execution is going to be televised, and so is my last meal. So as the camera's on me, I have them bring me out in a tolling bunting with some Sardencio cheese.
Oh, God.
And I put the fucking napkin on my head. And I eat the cheese with the fucking maggots trying to jump into my eyes, but I don't care, I'm going to die anyway. And I'm eating the fucking bird and the blood's running out of my mouth, and I look into the camera, I'm like, and I would have fucking killed you too if I could have got to you. And that's what's my last meal is. I'm on death row.
And I'm going to stand up off my couch and go, Ortolan Bunting!
Exactly.
Well, maggots are pouring out of your mouth with blood, just this crazy look in your eye. You're probably squinting in one eye because just the ammonia from the maggots and the one that jumped in there, too.
Exactly. I was like, I would have gotten you too. And blood for the blood god. Skulls for the throne of corn.
Dude, I'm about to get my guitar. Let's make some death metal happen.
Oh, my God.
That's from Warhammer.
Oh, shit.
I didn't just make it up now.
And then one of the guards will be like, hey, if you ain't careful, you're going to get one of them pneumonia.
Oh, man. Well, my last meal. I have to preface this with many things first. I would have to tell these people at least 4 to 5 years in advance what my last meal is going to be, because I need to be prepared properly, and it takes time to get it this way. Okay? And I'm also going to say this. The cuter the animal, the more fucking delicious it is. Alright? So, do we all know what turducken is?
Yes.
Okay. Now, for those of you out there who don't know what turducken is a turkey stuffed with the chicken, stuffed with a duck, and cooked. And there's usually like bacon or stuffing between each layer. Okay? I'm going to take it to the next level. I don't want just a turducken. I want a bison that's been stuffed with an elk, that's been stuffed with an antelope, that's been stuffed with a deer, been stuffed with a boar, stuffed with an ostrich, stuffed with a sheep, stuffed with a goat, stuffed with a rabbit, stuffed with a rat, stuffed with a duck, that's been then stuffed with andouille sausage, with each layer between each animal being a different type of cheese, and the whole thing wrapped in bacon and deep fried. That's what I want. Oh, and further, these all need to be babies of these animals, because like I said before, the cuter the animal, the more delicious it is. So I just need baby bisons and elks and antelopes and goats and rabbits and all that. And I don't want them killed naturally. I want each one of them drowned in a different type of alcohol.
God damn it.
So that's how they die. So they're like, their bodies are just soaked with like just booze of whatever type, brandy, cognac, all sorts of different stuff. And now this food would be so sinful that I'd have to eat it in a cave 10 miles below ground in the pitch black. So God couldn't see my sin. And I'd eat every fucking last bite of that thing too before I died.
Not only would you have to be in the cave, you'd have to have like a lead floor so the devil can't look and see you either, because he'd be ashamed.
Yes. At first, I was smiling. Then you were like, they have to be babies. I was like, well, that's kind of fucked up. Then you were like, drowned in alcohol. I was like, no! No, too far!
I mean, dude, that just, to me, sounds so delicious. Like, I just can imagine, like, all these animals stuffed and cooked like
You fucking bunter!
You're a bunter, you fucking asshole.
Goddamn napkin heads!
I'm not gonna lie. I may try to Ortola Bunting if it was put before me.
You're a fucking Orlando Bloomer, whatever you just said.
But see, I wouldn't put a napkin on my head because you know what? Fuck God. Look me in the eye while I eat this shit. I eat it, the bird's head hanging in my mouth, I looking up just like, what? Say something.
Oh, I think Kyle just won the internet.
I think he did.
But yeah, man, like, me and my buddy were talking about, like, we would call something like this, like, the Noah's Ark, because there's just so many fucking animals in there. But, like, we wanted to go even bigger originally. Like, we wanted, like, a blue whale stuffed with a humpback whale stuffed with a killer whale. Like, from the biggest animal down to the smallest animal, which would be like a garden warbler that's been stuffed with an olive on the inside. All these things just, like, deep fried. God, it'd just be amazing.
What the fuck is a garden warbler?
It's a little bird. There's a type of turducken the French made that had like if you think turduckens are crazy with 3 animals, the French version, this is from years ago, I think it was like 200 years ago, it was a bustard stuffed with a turkey, stuffed with a goose, stuffed with a pheasant, stuffed with a chicken, stuffed with a duck, stuffed with a guinea fowl, stuffed with a teal, stuffed with a woodcock, stuffed with a partridge, stuffed with a plover, stuffed with a lapwing, stuffed with a quail, stuffed with a thrush, stuffed with a lark, stuffed with an ortolan bunting, finally stuffed with a garden warbler, which had an olive inside of it.
You said woodcock.
Could you imagine if somebody serves this to you and like the guy didn't put an olive in there and the dude takes like a little piece of it and he's like, fuck this, just flips on the table, there's no olive in the warbler.
I could totally see that.
I would laugh so hard.
Do you
I'm just
take me
imagining
for some
trying
kind of Philistine? And he just throws the table into the air.
I imagine trying to eat that. Like, if they give it to you whole, like they give you like a fucking chainsaw to cut it with or something?
Right?
I mean, I've had like a turducken before, or like kind of pseudo turducken, where it's not necessarily like the actual bird stuff, but they just take the meat and they make a roll out of it. And I will admit, it is hard to eat it. You can't really tell what you're eating at one point because it's just meat. Like the only thing you can tell is the duck, because duck is darker than like chicken and turkey. But it all just soaks up the flavor. Oh, it's so my mouth is like watering. I'm drool like a dog over here thinking about how delicious it was. Because they put stuffing in each layer, like a bacon layer for one of them, and like, oh god, oh man, so amazing.
Oh,
Dude.
this is like some like you know, the people with the psychological dieting problems where they can't eat. This is like layers of hell for them.
Yeah, right.
So it's like, the first layer of hell is the turkey. The second layer of hell is the...
Oh, man.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you right now. If I had like ridiculous amounts of wealth, it'd be my goal to eat one of every animal. Including humans. I'm sure human tastes like fucking bacon, and it's probably delicious.
Depends on where you go.
That's true.
Depends on how you cook them.
Well, they say that when humans have like burned, they smell like bacon. So I'm betting they taste like bacon. And I mean, we all know bacon is just fucking amazing. But you know, with cannibalism, I think that's probably a good point to start ending the show.
Yes.
It's okay, Kyle. I accept you for who you are. You know, as long as you don't eat my ass, you can stay in Athens and we'll be buddies.
If we're in a plane crash, and it's like you've got to eat somebody to survive.
It's not me because I don't have an ass. I have long legs. That's it.
Dude, leg meat's probably good meat, man.
Shit.
I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't hesitate. I wouldn't be like, this guy's, it's going to be really hard for me to do that. Like, fuck, man, throw me on a piece of that leg on the side. I'd be over there eating people before they were even dead. They'd be like, have to pry me off. I mean,
Man, fuck that. I would be out in the mountains like Endo Gyoja, the founder of ninjutsu, fucking finding animals and strangling them and then apologizing, then eating their flesh and living off of fucking goji berries and whatever the fuck I found while you assholes are eating your friends.
Hey.
And then 10 years later, you're in a psychotic fucking therapist's office. I hate Reginald!
hey, humans are people. I mean, humans are people,
yeah!
Humans are animals. Damn it, fuck that up. Kyle, remember to edit that out.
No, we're not. That's awesome.
God damn it. I'm eating you first, Evan Jones. Dragon Con, literally. It's going to come at you like a tornado of tooth and nails.
It's so funny because I know that you're really pissed off that you fucked that up.
Oh, damn it.
Oh, shit.
That deserves this.
Oh,
That's
thank
my
you,
fail
Kyle.
for this episode. Oh, man.
Damn it! You got so mad. I'm crying like a little baby woman.
All right.
Baby woman?
Yeah. Whew.
Let's go ahead. I'll end it for us then.
Okay.
All right, guys. So, as always, you can find us on wearetheoffenders.com. You can get links to all of our things like YouTube, iTunes, and all that good stuff there. If you have any questions for us or any articles you want us to talk about, you can send them on to us at offenderspodcast@gmail.com. And if you are one of the people that use Facebook, you can look up Offenders Podcast on there and like us, and then you'll get access. You'll see everything we post across there, because we post stuff throughout the week sometimes. So, but until next time, I'm Kyle.
I'm Evan.
And humans are people.
Fuck you. Peace.